Tony McBride, Director of Berkeley Myles Solutions. We develop, implement and support our ProgressPlus manufacturing software. It's designed for small manufacturing companies, handles their business processes from start to finish. I think unfortunately the focus is on this perceived negative of a change. It's going to be difficult, there's going to be a lot of upheaval, and then that is contrasted against the potential benefits that I'm not really going to get much out of this. And really, one is underplayed, one is overplayed. If you get the right vendor and if you get the right implementation program, then the change is minimal. And the potential benefits are enormous. You get better control over your company, you have so much more information, you've saved so much time, you can sit and analyse, and you switch from being an administrator spending 90% of your time administrating and only 10% managing, switching that the other way around, where I've got 10% administration and 90% management time. I can make good decisions for my company and take that company to the next level. A typical example is a company in Lancashire, Bright Engineering, small engineering business, 20 or so people, supplying into high traceability industries. But Jon there made the jump, made the change. He went about it by specifically kind of bringing in his staff, getting them involved both in the pre-sales and trying to make the judgment call of making sure he goes to the right system, and post-sales, bringing them involved in the implementation and making sure it flowed all the way through the company, from the managing director, him at the top, all the way down to people on the shop floor were involved in the implementation.
Well, I'm Jon Hoyle. I'm Managing Director of Bright Engineering. We are a subcontract engineering company specialising in CNC turning and CNC milling and some mechanical assembly. The main reason we procured ProgressPlus and we went to the market for a new system was that we had an incumbent system. We were spending time with items such as purchase invoices and sales invoices, manually keying them into our accounts package. And after the installation of Progress, it was just a bulk upload. So half an hour job went down to 1 or 2 minutes. The key to adopting this package was the buying of staff, because we weren't just using it at accounts level or at sales level. We wanted to roll it out to the entire company. The biggest fear about putting a new ERP system in was the transition period. So how long would it take to install? How long would we need to put our data into it? And how long would we need to train people and get really up and running? And there's obviously a fear of having some sort of downtime as that all goes on. In reality, installation and entry of historical data took between 1 and 2 days. I don't think it was even 2 days. So we were up and running straight away. Training took place the day after. The fact that we had someone in-house, all well and good, that helped us, but even so, the training was succinct. It was focused on each person in turn and what their area of work entailed. And I'd say within a month, we were all using the system quite happily, still asking questions at that stage, but getting competent and up and running very quickly. And within 2 to 3 months, we were using ProgressPlus very competently on a day-to-day basis. With things like material certification, which are really key in aerospace. The customers want us to be able to, if they call us and request a copy certificate, with Progress, we can find that in a few seconds, email it a few seconds later, put the phone down, the job's done, the customer's happy, they've got what they want, and we can move on to whatever we were doing. Prior to that, it would have been locating that certificate in a file somewhere, scanning it, emailing it. So it would have been down in tools and possibly 10, 15 minutes of a job. So we believe we've saved a lot of administration time, possibly up to about 100 hours a month.
Well, if I was to, leave my position and join a manufacturing company, the first thing I would do I would put a system in place. You cannot possibly make management decisions without information, key management information. That's what you need. That's how you make decisions. It's essential. Without doing that, you cannot run a company properly.
And on the reporting side, I'd say if you're an FD, an MD, or an ops director, the ability to extract the data you want about your business, the facts and figures of where you're up to at any present time, that saves a massive amount of time. There are hundreds of reports in ProgressPlus. As soon as we started using reporting and metrics from ProgressPlus, we could dissect that into departments and maybe aim metrics at cell leaders. And when everybody in the business started to be able to see that they could impact in their particular area, and that those numbers were going to be a focus at regular production meetings, those numbers naturally started to improve. We identified an uplift in work centre efficiency of about 15% within the first 12 to 18 months of adoption of ProgressPlus, and we feel this was probably a metric, a case of we weren't measuring it, so we weren't focusing on it before. We started measuring it, we started to understand it. People in the business started to be aware of it as a metric, and that became a focus at production meetings.
There's obviously productivity benefits, potential turnover increases, but trying to nail what can make a big difference. It's being more reactive to your customers, so you have the traceability that they're requiring. You can respond to their queries immediately. That gives them confidence. Sometimes it can help even break into an industry that you can't get into at the moment. Big turnover increases result in that, and potential profitability increases as well.
If anyone was considering putting ProgressPlus in as a solution into their company, I'd say have confidence in the Berkeley Myles team. The technical support is fast, it's effective. We've never had to wait more than a few minutes to get an answer to a question. The Berkeley Myles tech support will log straight into your server, fix anything that needs fixing, but there's not much of that, to be honest. It's usually reminders and training for you and your staff. And I'd say the system is very uniform in the way it approaches each module and each page. So once you've trained a member of staff to do something, it's very intuitive as a system, and you will get used to it probably quicker than you think, and you will feel a lot of confidence about your data and how you're really looking after your customers' data and performing to whichever quality standard you're accredited to.